It's late July, and even though the garden is still blooming, quite a lot of our perennials are starting to set seed. And today, we're going to collect them so we have them ready for next year.
That's true. And we're right here with the first one. That's actually a caeruleum, really a pretty one, an early flowering perennial, really drought tolerant, also native here to Denmark. So what we do, we actually look for, it's very important when you look for the seed heads here, when they are ready, they have to be all, I'll take one off here. They have to be all brown, kind of open, this one here, kind of hard, not green, then means that the seed pods are not ready yet. So these ones are really like, just looks really withered, hardy and opened up. There's a little hole. And these seeds are kind of black, really tiny, but the great thing about collecting your own seeds is then you get a million of this new caeruleum here. So what I do, I'll collect a bunch of them here in a coffee filter. That's really good compared to plastic bags. You have the risk of running the risk of that they rot. And so I put them in coffee filters, and if I can, most of the time collect them when it's dry weather. If you do it, if it's kind of, it has rained, you can put it on coffee filters and make sure that it's all dry. But then I add them in coffee filters, and then I keep them in our shed here. You can sow them actually already now in pots or in a spot in the garden, but I like to do it in the pots because then I know the process and I can see the small seedlings, so you don't get confused with the weeds. So some of them I sow now in pots, but then also I can save some for early spring when I get the jiggers. I just want to like, oh, I want to go in the garden and get ready and start sowing. So I do that early spring, and then they will also get more of this wonderful caeruleum.
And you know, we do a lot of collecting, seed collecting. If you've watched our channel at all, you hear us talk about it all the time. But a lot of people have asked, do you have to? And no, because these are perennials, and this is ready to throw seed. You know, it's a great self-seeder, self-sower.
Yeah.
So you don't have to collect seed. We do it so that we have more plants that we can either control, we can sell, we can give on to friends and neighbors. You know, you don't have to collect seed. But if you're looking for a great way to expand your garden without spending a lot of money, this is it. Collect your own seed.
That's true. And this one actually, you could also, if you want to just freshen up the plants also, if you finish collecting, you can also go back and then kind of cut it back, the whole stem, run it all the way down after you're finished. That will also make your perennial, this caeruleum, look so much better. It still has green foliage. And sometimes when you also collect the seeds and then prune it a little bit back, the flower stem, some of the perennials might actually have a second flowering, which is really great as well to give that extra color here later on.
And we're also going to leave a lot of these, I don't know if maybe this one because it's right here in the front, but a lot of the Columbines and things that we're going to collect later on in the video, we're going to leave, oh, I almost fell. We're going to leave a lot of those seed heads because they just look really good.
Yeah, that's true. So here we actually have the stouter Salvia. This is a low variety, it's called Ostfriesland. And these ones are actually finished now, and I want to have a second flowering. So what I do, I'll first, before I remove them all, I'll take some of them. Just, you can see in here, they're all brown, and insides are like around 4 seeds sitting in all this towering. So what I do, I take them in my hand. They don't come out as easily as, and then you can kind of rub them a little bit, and there you can see those black seeds. You can also put them in a bag and shake them really hard. But this is a little bit bigger, a little fatter seed here. So these ones, I just really get all this off and collect all these black ones. And again, always remember name on in my coffee filters. And these ones I can also, save or sow already now, and then have a bunch more, and I'll cut it down because then I'll get actually a second flowering of this stouter Salvia.
Great, and the Columbine right here behind the puppy is also very ready.
Okay, should I
We've
take
taken
one?
down a lot of them, though you can see them everywhere. Once our Columbines finished flowering, I had cut a lot of them back, but I left quite a few of them because they're great for collecting seeds. They're also great for self-seeding, so we don't really have to collect them.
They are also very pretty, actually, just like that.
Yeah, are they though? But can you put your microphone up to it? I'd love to hear how it really rattles inside.
Okay, ready? You can hear, right? Ooh.
You can actually hear the seeds rattling inside. Plus you can tell that it's ready because it's very, very brown.
Yeah. So here again, these ones, the Aquilegia here, they will cross, because the insects cross-pollinate, so you're not always sure about, that's the thing when you collect seeds in general, a lot of perennials, then you're not promised or sure about that will be the same color as the mother plant. But I think that's also actually really nice, that it's a nice surprise from nature. You get a different color. I think that's quite sweet actually. So these ones are actually also very easy to collect. So I just run down. We just get a bunch here, like this. Oh, they are so ready. They have thrown themselves in the garden too. So here, let me just hold in my hand. Here you can really see nice and black. Very easy to recognize here. So these ones also, what I do, I actually do two things. I keep some. This one was actually kind of blue-purple Aquilegia, so I need to write that on here. And so what I do, some of them I keep, I will sow in autumn, some in spring, and I also just take some and scatter them around because these ones you can never have enough of. And I love the different colors, and they flower very early on actually. So, and I also just love the foliage, but now it's kind of all died back. So after I collected seeds, all this is going to go, and that's going to freshen up the area as well. But the seed pods is pretty for now actually. So we added one of the poppies, and this one, you can actually get it as a perennial, but this one is actually annual. So that means it will flower now, and then it will all, as you can see, it's already dying back. But these ones really give a pop of color, and the insects, a lot of the bees really love them. So this one I definitely need to have every year, so I kind of just also throw them in the garden, but also collect some just to make sure I always have it. But the thing about poppies, you need to make sure that you collect them when they're ready. A lot of people love to have them, they're very decorative also inside. But this one actually, here you can see it's still green, it's kind of soft, and the head here hasn't popped up. I'll show you one that's ready. So this one needs to stay, it's not ready. But then the one, which one should I take? Actually this one in here is the perfect fit here. This one here. Maybe I'll just cut it, then it's easier. So this one actually has, it's getting harder here, yes. And you can actually also hear that one. Maybe if I take the microphone, you can hear. It also, like the Aquilegia, starts to shake. So that's really great. So this one here, you can see the head has popped up. So there's a bunch of holes here, almost looks like air holes. So that means this poppy is ready. And these ones are very, very small seeds. But see here, I guess like a million new poppies here. Really a pretty color. So here you get a bunch of these ones. So what I do, I'll collect some in coffee filters, but I'll also throw some in the garden here in autumn, and then again in spring, and then they kind of come up. If there's too many, I can always remove some, but I always want to have some in the garden. So these ones also keep in coffee filters, and this is a really pretty variety here, really light pink, light purple, pinkish, and really pretty. The foliage looks a little bit like lettuce, so next year I want to make sure I have them a little bit more out, but that's the thing with poppies, they come up where you least expect it. But it was pretty tall here, but I still let it be because it had a bunch of flowers actually, and they were great for the bees. So this one I have a bunch of now. So next one up here, this perennial is called Jakobstie, has this wonderful foliage here, and all the seed pods are actually ready. And they are also brown, and the seeds in here are black. So I'm just going to take one here and kind of show you how it looks. And they are quite also big looking. Look at this. A bunch of seeds here too. So these ones are also collected in coffee filters. And some I'll sow now here in autumn, but also I'll keep some for the spring. I actually just want to, these are really nice and dry. I actually just want to show you ones that's not ready. Here you can see one, it's actually next to some that's really ready. So they are green, light brown. So this definitely shows these ones are not ready. It hasn't opened yet. So I need to let them be until they are like this color, and then they are ready. So it's all about, in general, all the perennials need to be mature like this, opening up, brownish, and collect in dry weather is my great
And you can
tip.
really see the difference between the opening there
Yeah,
and the closing there. And they're opening, getting ready for the wind, the birds, nature to help them throw their seed. We only have a few lupin seeds because we've been very good at cutting them down as soon as they go to flower. Excuse me, as soon as they go to seed.
that's actually, you're really good at that. I just kind of forget it, but you're really good at cutting them down so they have a bunch of more towering flowers. And this one is actually one that's not ready here. It's kind of green, shows that it's not ready. It has to be all this color. Really, again, this is soft, this is kind of more hardy, and brown, almost black looking. And inside looks like a kind of a, what are they called? Beans?
Yeah, it looks like a bean.
Bean. And then I kind of open them up here. And then, ta-da, sits a bunch of, look, so pretty in a row here. These lupin seeds here, yeah, look at that. So those I'll collect in coffee filters. And then I have a bunch of new, and they are easy to collect. You could actually let them dry. They are a little wet actually because we had some rain yesterday. So I make sure I put these on newspaper and let them really dry before I put them in coffee filters. And these ones are great at, the thing is if you sow them already, to do like an autumn sown, then you will have more mature plants for next spring. I kind of do both things, but if you sow them early on, the perennials, they have a tendency to, they will produce green foliage the first year and then they flower the second year. So it's all about when you do these baby perennials, sow them from seeds, it's all about being patient because it takes time from this itty bitty one to grow into a big plant like that will produce a lot of plants. So it's all about being patient. So that's why you can sow a lot in autumn or now kind of when they are ready, and then they will be in pots and you can plant them out and then they will be bigger for next year. But I kind of do both. I like the whole, I like to sow all year actually.
And right next to the lupins, we have these alliums. They were beautiful and white, but now we have seeds.
Ta-da! They were so pretty and white. But look at that. There's actually, here you can really also see a sample on some that's not ready to collect yet. These are kind of green balls, hasn't opened up. Right next to the kind of black beads, almost looks like it. And that's actually the seeds. Super pretty also just to have, we have some just inside decorative, and they last for like a year. But you can kind of just shake the ready ones. Oops, there was an ant too. But they are already here, really big ones actually. So these ones here. The thing about alliums here, when you sow them, looks a little bit like just like a little piece of grass weeds. Here, talking about being patient. It will take 2 to 3 years before you will have actually a allium plant that will produce. It needs to make a bulb, and then it will make this huge flower. So here you have to really wait. And I collect them and then I sow them in the greenhouse in winter actually, and then they will start to germinate when it gets warmer, and then I'll put them out in the garden when they're a little bit bigger. But if you just sprinkle them around, you quickly forget where it is, so it's the best way to give them a good start. But here's a bunch of really pretty ones, and some we will leave because they are just
we'll
really
leave most
nice.
of these, exactly. We'll leave the rest of these.
Yeah.
But another thing you can do, if you haven't finished shaking all those out, so you can actually just, let's pop it down there in the ground, Lars. We can just stick that head, so you can cut it off.
That's true.
Cut off the seed head, and then you can stick it.
That's true.
In the ground.
Yeah.
So leave a little bit of stem.
That's true.
Like a stick,
Mm-hmm.
and then.
Oh, you mean then turn it around?
Ta-da!
Then you do like this.
The only difference between this or leaving it way up high is now when it throws these seeds, it's going to be in a more concentrated area. So you're giving yourself a little bit more control over where the alliums are going to start sprouting. Whereas leaving them way up here, when the wind takes them, it could be anywhere in this whole area.
That's true. You could also put a little cute name tag or something so you know, okay, because now you remember, but then all of a sudden you'll forget, oh, what is coming up here, and you'll pull up and you're like, ah, it was a Lium baby seeds. So this one, we'll try and leave that there.
Look at the bees today.
Ta-da.
They're enjoying the sunshine. Okay, sorry.
And the
back to
cornflower.
seed collecting.
We're so happy with the weather because it was raining yesterday. So now today we can collect. So here we actually have a Delphinium here, a white one, really a big tower. So I gotta slowly take, so the seeds, they are about to just pop themselves. See if I can get here. And this one is really ready. There's actually one on the side here that's kind of green. So that one is not ready yet, but the rest is really brown, really hardy, and kind of, it also shakes, but it's opened up here in the top. So what I do, see if I can turn it around here and see if they come out. They kind of look like a little dried raisin here. See if I can get some more out. They kind of, there we go. So here you can see the seeds of the Delphinium here. Really pretty and really dark. So these I'll also collect in the coffee filters. And as I mentioned earlier, you can also sow them now and then again in spring. So you have kind of, you extend the growing season of the Delphiniums here. So this one, Toscamon, is really loved by bees. I have them in this dark and this purple, and also in a light baby pink. And these ones, there's actually some that's not ready. You can see, if you come a little bit closer, Ellen, there's like some of them are green balls here, all that, like a tower here, and those are not ready yet. But then when they turn here, I'll cut one off. Then you can see they kind of more brownish again, dark, and then they have seeds. So let me just take a piece here, and they are really teeny tiny here. So here you can see they are smaller, but a bunch of seeds in this one too. And I really like this one because it has such, almost looks like a Christmas tree. The foliage here kind of spiky when it grows up, and they kind of sell so really crazy a lot. So which I don't mind. They get kind of tall but still elegant. So I let them be here around really to the border here, because they are really liked by insects for a very long time. So these ones also actually just sometimes do like this. I just throw it in there, and they will come up for sure. And I'll also collect some, so I'm sure I have them in the garden always, because it's really nice. And with the mix, I don't only like the dark purple, also the pink one, and the insects are really happy with it. So I'll just keep that there, and also keep some in the coffee filter. Look at the Dioica, actually native to Denmark, really drought tolerant and flowers for a very long time. And also ready, these seeds here. There's actually, you can see one here is kind of soft and green and hasn't opened up on the tip here. So this one is actually not ready. But I want to show you one that is ready, is this one down here. It has kind of, the sides kind of open to the side, really pretty, and they are hard and brown here. And look at that when I do like this.
I love it when they just pour out.
Right. Here we go. They need a little help. There we go. And these are really pretty. Almost looks like some of the other seeds we just collected. They are really, there's almost not two perennial seed heads that's the same. These ones are really easy to recognize and also easy to grow from seed. So you have a bunch of them because it has such a pretty pink color here. And this is flowered for a very long time. Also actually early and still kind of come with a few more flowers. So this one also I'll keep in the coffee filters, always with a name on, so I remember it, because sometimes I'm like, I remember this one, or I'll put this next to it, and then this dries up. I did that. That doesn't work. You have to have the name on, because you forget when you have like 20 different seeds you collect. So this one goes in here, and it's also fun because the perennials, they mature the seed heads throughout the year, so I always have these seed glasses on, and then kind of look when they are all ready, and try and collect it when it's dry weather, so the seeds not have the tendency to rot. Otherwise, yeah, I have to dry it a little bit. But today is really dry and perfect time to collect them. So keep going.
It's time to collect seeds from my one of my favorite. I was going to say absolute favorite, but definitely top 5.
And ta-da, it is the Astrantia here. And they are really so pretty also when they throwing the seeds, and this one has already started to. See, these ones are just really easy to get out. Just a nice sound when they just fall into your hands. There's another one over here. Let me see if I can get it. Look at that, they just kind of fall out. They need to be dried actually a little bit. That one was a little wet.
I could put them on a newspaper.
Yeah, that one there, but they really kind of shake when they're ready. And these ones, the Astrantia, they need cold stratification, and that means they need changing temperatures. So what I do, you could also throw some out here. They're really great at self-sowing, so you'll have them everywhere. But they're easy. Once they have the second set of leaves, you can see it looks like the mother plant when they have that kind of star leaf. But what I do, I sow them in January in the greenhouse, and then in March when they have had those, then the nature does the rest, then they germinate, and then you have a bunch of these new Astrantia in this white color. We also have some red ones we always collect seeds of. So these ones definitely we collect a lot of, because it's nice to have repeated out many places in the garden. We actually have another one right over here. If I just shift my leg, is the Blair smeller. That's also native to Denmark. And can you see the flowers here down here? Look at those. Look like a lady, or like a hat.
Yeah, they're
of a lady.
crazy, right? Bladder campion.
Bladder campion. And I need to keep an eye on some that's ready. I hope I can find some here, maybe down there. Because some of them, when they are kind of green, I'll open one up here. See, this one is almost getting there.
Yeah,
Has
it's
to
not
be
quite
all.
ready yet. This one is.
So maybe see if I can find one here while you film.
I think we're a few weeks early, Lars. It's
Actually,
okay.
Yeah, I can actually show you how it looks inside, because they are not ready yet. These are white. They need to be just like some of the other ones, like the Toscamon, more like all black actually. So I'm actually a little bit too early on this one. So they need a little bit more time. Maybe this one up here. Actually, I think I was lucky. Let's see. This one again, all brown. Let's see. Maybe. Is there any in here? Yeah, there's a few in here. They started to change color actually. That kind of looks. You can see the non-ready one, the white ones, and then black. Good.
But we have a lot coming, so I think we'll
Yes.
just wait a few more weeks.
Okay.
Look at those sweet Williams.
Oh, yeah.
And the ladybug on
Oh,
top.
no.
Ah, she flew away.
And in Danish, studenternælke. This one really always reminds me of my grandmother. She's still alive. She's 92, by the way. But she has them in her garden, and always reminded me of her when I see these. Such a grandmother plant, but also in our garden. This one is actually, this was white and purple, the color you can see a little bit left. But these ones are kind of green, these seed pods, which means it's not ready yet. I'm going to show you which ones are. These really dead looking ones, look at that one. All brown and boring. And the top there has again lifted up like some of the other ones do, just ready to let nature take all the seeds. I'm gonna look at that. Also a bunch, so easy when they're black, then it's easy to see. So these ones here also ready to go. The thing about these ones is actually kind of a short-lived perennial or biennial, depending on. Now these ones are finished, so I'll cut them down, so then you'll trick the plant into saying, oh, actually I need to grow again. Even though it set seeds, it most likely to come back again, but it's after a few years I can see it kind of doesn't have so much great flowering anymore, so I always make sure to plant some more. And the thing with these ones, the Sweet Williams, they will the first year use all the energy on the foliage, so it's really great actually to sow them right away now, because then you have them in pots, so you can here in late autumn plant them out next to the mother plant, and then next year it will start producing a great color scheme here. I have them in this one, and also in a light pink one, and a one with dark foliage, also really nice. So that's really a good tip with this one, is sowed already now, so you have flower for sure next year of this one. So one of my favorite one has finished flowering. I'll cut it back after I collect it. It's this one here, the hvid sporebaljan. Look at that one. Really pretty and attracts a lot of insects. Here it's actually, it almost looks like a dandelion. See if I can find one for you here that's ready. So it has also like a little kind of an umbrella. Oh, it's hard to show you. There you go. So it has like a little top there. So it's easy, like a parachute will kind of fly down. And sit some here that on the top they are more green. They are not ready, but they are. I need to really get them now because some of them are like just falling by itself really easily. All these has kind of
the
fallen.
wind takes these really easy.
Yeah.
It almost looks dusty from a distance.
Right.
Or it looks like there's a spider web on it or something.
I think if I blow, it's gonna show maybe.
But those are the well.
I still have a bunch to collect.
Yes.
Did you get it?
I sure did.
Now we have a lot of baby sporball.
Just what
Yay!
we need right there in that area. Yay.
We have a bunch here anyway. Okay, behind that one actually, I'm gonna take this one over here, see if I can find one that's ready. Maybe if I can do with my hand here, this one I think, is the brændende kærlighed. Ooh, what a word.
The burning love.
And some of them are not, it was a red flower here. This one, seed pod here is green, so as you can see, it's not ready yet, but some are more brown and opened up. And I just love the seeds of this one too. Look at that. Crazy how oh, and there was some bugs in there. Sorry, find a new home. Crazy how you can be happy for seeds. I get so excited. Look at that. A lot, just imagine how many more brændende kærlighed you get out of this one. This one is also, just like the Sweet Williams, really great to sow now because it will take quite a long time for it to produce the foliage and it will flower typically the second year. So this one, go ahead and plant, sow that now, and then you have a bunch of really red. Oh, there's one over here I need to show you. The last one, I think I will produce more.
Is it the flower?
Yeah, here's a flower. Look
well,
at that
not
red
anymore.
color. I have some more in the back, but that's a great color.
We don't have any more of these.
No, but there's some in the back, that's fine.
Okay.
And they have what I wanted to say was that they have a very strong stem, so they don't need any staking, and I just love the color.
Yeah, it's
I heard some colleagues,
color.
they're like, ooh, so scared of red. I think it's
a
wonderful.
very bright red, I agree.
But it's really nice in contrast to the white sporbellion actually. So
That's
these
right.
ones collected.
And the last flower, ladies and gentlemen, you just saw it.
Wow.
Leave the garden. Fortunately, we have a few more flowers to look at.
Okay.
Now we're behind the scenes, right up next to the fence, where the foxgloves are.
So I'm actually going to show you here that we have some that's kind of green. When they're green, they are not ready yet. I have to wait until they're all brown and the seeds are black in there. Let me see if I can shake some in my hand. Ooh, without dropping the scissors. Look at that. Ooh, I bet like 500 right here in my hand. Look at that. It just looks like tiny, tiny seeds. These ones, also like some of the other ones.
They look like tiny seeds, like
I mean, they look like
they are tiny
just
seeds.
Powder. I mean, I want to say just powder. Yeah, they are tiny, tiny seeds. But these ones, they are biannual, so they produce the foliage the first year, and then the second year they will produce the tower of a flower. So what you do, you could either do this everywhere in the garden where you want it, and then they will come up. They need light to germinate, and you could also sow. I do both. I throw some here in kind of in a group because it's really nice to have them in a group, and then you could also sow them in a tray or in a pot on top of the soil and keep it watered, and then they will start when they have the second set of leaves. I'll plant it out, and then for sure you have these beautiful flowers that the insect really like. The bumblebees, I love the sound of a bumblebee going up in that flower. So these ones definitely, these ones I'll throw here, and I'll also collect some. So a new perennial, we haven't had it more than 2 years in the garden.
Wait,
is this?
You just hit me with that.
Is this really taller than me, over 2 meters tall? It's the kæmpeskældhoved, and it looks like a scabiosa actually. And the bees are really happy with it. Actually in here there's a few seeds ready here. I just want to show you some that's ready and which ones are not ready, because there's the ones that's super brown means they are ready. These lighter one, almost green, not ready yet. They kind of fall out, so I'll try and dry this here, and the other ones I will leave a few more days. But this one is also great at self-sowing, really everywhere, and you will recognize the baby seedlings. I'll take the foliage. It will quickly have this kind of what would you call this, like cut edge there on the foliage.
Serrated edge.
Oh wow, fancy. But in the ground, so all these baby ones, then you'll have them everywhere. And these need cold stratification, so I kind of just leave it here around, and I'll also collect some and put in pots and put in the greenhouse in January. And then for sure, so I have a bunch. I only have one plant here, but I want a bunch here because it's so tall. And I'll actually, or Alan will, I hope, deadhead here, because if we cut it back here, well, actually it has a side shoot here, and that'll come with more flowers because it kind of finished quickly. So I want to make sure we get them again when we cut them back here. And then will come a second flowering of this one.
Yeah, I'll do that right after this.
Great.
And you see all of these bees today? They are busy. Maybe they know that we are after the seeds, so they're going to enjoy these flowers while they can.
But you're actually supposed to show that we collect seeds, and this is going to be confusing now.
I know, but but just look at them.
They are crazy though.
And we're trying to say bye in the video. So thank you so much for spending your afternoon with us, because we've collected a whole box full of seeds. Yes. We'll keep them all in these coffee filters. The ones that need to go on newspapers, we'll be sure to do that. Yeah. But basically, they'll stay in here until we need them. We do this because in a plastic bag or something, they're just going to stay too wet. And then we'll keep them in the little work shed here behind me.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, well, it's not heated. It's not temperature regulated. It's just what it is. It's kind of cool because it's here in Denmark, so everything's kind of cold.
But I have a lot of gold here now.
Exactly. A lot of free plants.
Yeah.
To sow when it's time.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for watching.
Thank you. Moin.
Now go back to the bees.